Gangs are basically the elites and the government's bootlickers. You know, a lot of people don't think about it this way, but gangs, prison gangs, they're meant to keep the revolution in check, and they serve the purpose of quelling revolution. Whether it was the Maltas in the Americas, you know, when the Irish and this certain regiment of soldiers acted up, they were there to quell it, and they were given free rein. Whether it was large capoeiristas who were hired by plantation owners, hired by law enforcement and military and these sort of patrols to keep the runaways in check, to keep the white racist order of things. Gangs have always served the secret society structure on that level for that purpose. A lot of you who are bootlicking to the New World Order, you do not realize the kind of cowards and the kind of Satanists you deal with. Really, it is right there in their names most of the time. You have biker gangs such as the Hells Angels. You know, what is Hells Angels? Well, Babylon's system is satanic, and angels serve the purpose of upholding the order and acting as sort of the military wing and messengers and so on and so forth for their administration. In heaven, the angels, you know, carry out attacks in some cases. You know, they serve different purposes on that level, but one of it, you know, the primary purpose, one could argue, is a military purpose. And it's the same thing with the Hells Angels, you know. And when they're in the Aryan Brotherhood and so on and so forth, with the 666, it's very obvious that they mean it literally. They mean they've aligned themselves to a secret society, which is part of the greater secret society structure. I've been saying this for quite some time, you know. And so gang members tend to have affiliates. When you look at the FBI list, they'll say, you know, these are gang members, these are affiliates. Bikers have, you know, prospects and tag-alongs and so on and so forth. And sometimes they'll outsource their work to these people, or they'll have these people assist them. Okay? And it gets sort of confusing because all throughout history, these groups were played off against each other and so on and so forth. In the case of the Maltas, you had rival capoeira groups, rival capoeira gangs or cults, depending on how you look at it. They're affiliated with the closed societies, the old-time societies. They had initiations. Gangs have initiations. Secret society lodges have initiations. You know, it is quite cowardly to serve the New World Order. These people will use the fact that the system is on their side when you put it that way. When you make the beef about their affiliation to the system, they will use that fact to try to, you know, leverage the system and their greater secret society network against you, as they have been trying to do against me. Unsuccessfully this far, because I've outsmarted them all collectively. Law enforcement will set you up to put you in their hands. They will turn a blind eye to whatever they do to you on the streets once you make it about the secret society structure. Now, a lot of you are cowards, and just by me bringing that to your attention, you will cower away. You will leave all revolutions and political movements to controlled bootlicking scum. That is unacceptable. We are reaching an age of total war, and I expect most of the cowards to side with them out of fear and cowardice. And it's rather unfortunate. Rather unfortunate. But people are such cowards. You see, once you remove religion, you'll remove the rest of the resistance. The only reason that people, as an uncontrolled opposition, would oppose them is faith in God. So to them, it is of their utmost importance to destroy religion, or to at least destroy religious convictions, and replace them with subservience to the state. I've never seen the famous hip-hop artist that wasn't controlled by them. I have never heard of or seen a famous rapper or any kind of person who had any kind of respect in the community or any kind of fame or any kind of a following that wasn't controlled by them. We live in the age of cowardice, the age of treachery. But this has always existed to some degree. Just over time, with technology and information increasing, it became more in your face. There used to be more volatile times. Now we have more direct control by complete cowards. So, a man of principle and a man of honor who's not a complete fucking coward. You see, gangs sell out for pussy, for money, for, peer pressure, for nice things, to feel cool in society. One thing that's going to happen is nobody will look upon them as cool anymore. They will look upon them as controlled cowards. People who join them won't join them out of ignorance to be cool. They'll join them because they desire to sell their soul for money, for nice things, for Babylonian whores. All females in any gangs, be it biker, prison, street gangs, secret societies, law enforcement, which is basically a gang. You'll hear gang members describing law enforcement as a gang. The military groups, intelligence agencies, any New World Order group that is prone to violence. And their females therein are complete whores. Just like with football and cheerleaders or boxing and those sluts who hold up the signs to announce the rounds and, and MMA and so on and so forth, and they're sluts. And, you always have these complete whores who have strayed far away from God, if they ever were near God in the first place. Highly doubtful, but perhaps they were. But at any rate, they are away from God now. One of the major reasons women shun me in society is because they took control of the social media. They make sure that if I make contact with women, they're gonna make it hard. They've also made it unpopular to be someone like me. They've also tried to play me out as a schizophrenic and things of this nature. I have these people on record admitting what they're doing. Okay, and even if you were a complete dumbass who didn't see it for what it was and think that these people are playing with me, only a complete idiot wouldn't see that no matter how you look at it, it completely voids any chance of mental illness. It is now either suggestion, which is completely unlikely, there's about a 0% chance of that, or it is gang stalkers doing it under the guise of playing around or admitting it flat out, using the excuse that they're playing around. And I'll leave it up to your imagination to figure out why they would do that. You see, people are being plagued by necessity, fear, and greed. These people are complete cowards. I know. I grew up hanging out with gang members. I grew up in a gang and so on and so forth. I'm telling you beyond any doubt, the people who are doing this, gang members are not the friends of the revolution. It would be nice if they were, but they're not. If you're part of a controlled revolution, they're probably going to be your friend, especially if it goes along with their subculture. Say you're a white racist movement, Republican movement in the South, and there's a white racist biker gang in the South, then they're probably your best friend. Say you're a black militant movement in Oakland and they're a black gang alliance that is affiliated with the BGF and you're all controlled opposition, then they're probably your best friend. But these people also played off against each other, so they can't come together and have any power. It's all throughout history, that's how it was done. When the Irish militias and military unit acted up, they had black capoeiristas, put them down. Put down the revolution. Put down, not the revolution, their insurrection. They were kind of going AWOL and doing their own thing. There was about 1,000 of them. They mustered up a large group of capoeiristas and police soldiers, and they worked in coordination to quell the revolt. And this is back in the 19th century. This has been going on for hundreds, if not thousands of years. where you have mercenaries. I forgot the word for the samurais who didn't have a master. It'll probably come to me eventually. I'll put it in the comments. But there was these samurais who didn't have a master, and they were for hire. And the warlords would hire them to help quell rebellions, to help face opposition, and so on and so forth. They're used as assassins. They're used as instigators and provocateurs to put two of your rival warlords, to pit them against each other. They are used to go after the underworld crime rings that have caused you trouble, or anyone who would oppose your rule. Gangs and these secret society groups, none of them are your friends. All of them serve the elite to one degree or another, for one purpose or another. And if they are the type of people that work out or train to fight and kill people in the military or so on and so forth, or veterans or what have you, then absolutely they will serve this purpose. If you look right now at the San Jose police, they actively seek out military people to hire. You know, why are the police force militarized? Why are they given military gear? Well, it's simple. Because they serve as a sort of secret society, whether they see it that way or not. A lot of gang members don't realize this. They just, you know, every once in a while they're sold the idea that, oh, well, you know, we're going to do this and collaborate with the pigs because we're getting this from it, etc., etc. They don't see the bigger picture in how it is like this with everybody, and how they are basically a secret society that's controlled by the greater secret society structure. They're just a more well-known secret society that takes the blame for things the most often because they are the lowest level of it. They are the cannon fodder in the secret society world, in the criminal underworld, which is basically what the criminal government is, what criminal satanic cults and law enforcement agencies and secret societies are, what criminal gangs and prison gangs and organized crime. It is all one big criminal underworld. There is no righteous, you know, organizations in the world. If there is a large organization, you better believe it is sold out and it is pitted against other organizations to prevent it from seizing power from the elite. Period. And any organization such as the Italian Mafia that has attempted to do so only got so far, was cracked down upon by the legitimate law enforcement agencies, and was put back in its place. You know? That's how it is. There's no way around that. And now all we have these days are secret society scum who are playing their position. Individuals and perhaps individual groups will be rewarded accordingly by the secret society structure for fulfilling certain tasks, for doing an exemplary job. But you got to realize, this is how it is. I don't have any reason in the world to lie to you by saying this and putting it like this. They want to try to shut me up and so on and so forth. They have threatened me constantly. They have threatened me subtly. They have persecuted me. They have gotten everyone to sell out because they were afraid. And most of the time they were afraid of what the people around them would do. And they didn't see it as a whole government working together until it was blatantly put like that in front of them. You know, the Santa Clara County Sheriff Department, for that reason, would never help me out. If I decided to try to go to them for help, of course they wouldn't help me out because they're a part of this. The Internal Affairs wouldn't try to help me out. If I tried to go over their head to the FBI, well, guess what? They're probably more corrupt than the local pigs, the local fuzz. You know, there is no one that you can turn to except for God. And you can seek out other people like I have. But I expect that all these races and these ethnic groups will go down in history as cowards who were too submissive, their tongue too full of boot, the taste of boot, to come to my aid and resist Satan. Even when the souls of their family members were on the line, every single ethnic group in America will now go down in history as complete dogs who were afraid to do what I have done. Therefore, I am a transcendent hero and the greatest warrior in America. Thank you.